All right, we are doing this. This is the very first episode of You've Got Something to Say. And I've been thinking about this for a while, probably longer than I should have, if I'm being honest. But here we are. This show is about one thing. You've got something to say. And we're not going to wait for someday. And we're not going to wait for everything to be perfect. And we're not going to wait for when you feel ready, because you never will. We're going to do it now. So the only question we have is, since you've got something to say, what are you going to do with it? Because I see this all the time. Women who are smart and experienced and have been through things and have learned things, and they've got something real they could share, and they don't. Or they almost do, or they start and then they stop, or they think about it for weeks, months, sometimes years, and they never actually hit record or hit post or just say the damn thing. And it's not because they don't have anything to say. It's not because they're not qualified, because they are. And it's not because they're not interesting, because they are. It's because they're overthinking it. They're second guessing themselves. They're wondering, who am I to be saying this? What if someone disagrees? We all know how, let's just say, the internet can be unkind at times. So, what if somebody disagrees? What if nobody cares? So, instead of saying something, they just stay quiet. But you know, the part that really doesn't get talked about enough? It's not just that they don't know how to start a podcast, or they don't know how to speak. They don't know how to get on stages. They don't know how to write. They don't know how to get a book published. It's that they don't actually know what they want. They don't know what they're building. They they don't know what they want their life to look like. And if you don't have that, it doesn't matter how many posts you make or how many episodes you record, you just end up busy, not intentional. I don't believe in building a business that takes over your life. I believe in building life on your own terms and then using your voice through podcasting or speaking, writing, your brand to support that life, not the other way around. Because if your brand isn't clear, if your message isn't clear, if you aren't clear, it still feels scattered and it feels hard. And it feels like you're just throwing things out there and hoping something sticks. And I know that because I have been there. I've had things I wanted to say and didn't say them, or I watered them down, or I waited until it felt perfect, which it never did. It never happens. It never will. And the longer you wait, the harder it gets. So, what I do now is help women take what's in their head and their heart and actually get it out into the world, but not in a way that burns them out and not in a way that makes them feel like they have to become someone they're not. I help you figure out what you actually want, what you really have to say, and how to share that through podcasting, speaking, writing, and your personal brand, and in a way that fits your life. Because there's nothing wrong with waiting to be heard. There's nothing wrong with wanting to be heard. There's nothing wrong with wanting to share your story. And there's definitely nothing wrong with wanting your message to reach people. That's not ego, that's impact. So, on this show, we're going to talk about things like how to start a podcast without overcomplicating it, how to find your message and actually say it clearly, how to show up and speak, even if you're nervous, how to take your story and turn it into something that actually helps people. And we're going to do it in a way that's real, not polished, not perfect, as you can see, not overproduced, just honest and practical. And if you've been sitting there thinking about something that you want to say, something you want to share, something that kind of keeps tapping you on the shoulder, that little voice in your head that says, I should share this, I should tell my story, this is your sign. Stop waiting because you've got something to say. And it's time to start saying it.